Hey everybody, it's Savannah Taylor, the Gardenista, your kitchen garden coach. And today we are going to be talking about something that is kind of a staple in a lot of my dishes. I don't know about you, but if you love string beans, you're in for a treat on today because I'm going to show you how to plant and how to transplant and get them going and to grow your own string beans. Imagine that. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, everybody, you want to make sure you have everything you need. You, of course, are going to need your soil, your plant, your water, some pots, and of course, your string bean seeds. And we're going to start off with, before we transplant this, because this is what you'll end up putting in a bigger pot. We're actually going to transplant that because see, this is what we started out with. This was a little nursery pot, but see, it's outgrown this pot. And so what we're going to do is we're going to transplant it to a larger nursery pot before we actually put it in the ground. Now, that said, can you put string beans directly into the ground or into what you're going to ultimately grow them in? Absolutely. The only reason why I did it this way is because, you know, we've had some weather here in California, believe it or not. We had snow, you guys. It was amazing. But it really wasn't the best environment for seedlings, okay? So I just didn't want to take any chances on string beans because they can be a little temperamental. I don't know about you, but they can be a little temperamental. But anyway, so we're going to start off with getting a little nursery pot here, and let me give you guys a close-up of these pots. So you've got these little starter pots, and then you've got these pots right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with this one right here, and super simple, you guys, but I know a lot of you have asked for some, you know, actual tutorials. So, and I get that because, you know, if you're new to gardening, you definitely, you know, you want to see how it's done. So I don't mind at all. I'm only going to put, we'll say 3. Now, when you're planting, you know, you can space them out, I would say about a couple inches apart. Here, and I'll show you how I did that. So I'm literally just putting them in the soil like that, pushing them down with my fingers, covering them, okay? And then they're all in there in the soil. And then what we want to do is we want to water it really well. So I'm going to use my little handy dandy nursery tray here. We're going to water that. Now what I do, because the soil is still, it takes a little time for it to moisten up that soil, what I'll more than likely do is come back and water that again, or I could actually fill this tray with water so that over time this can drink up as it needs it, okay? So that's just a little technique tip right there. So we've planted a fresh string bean, but now this is what it turns into, okay? So now what we're going to do, since this one has outgrown its pot, we're going to get a bigger nursery pot right here, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this one up. Now, for those of you who have grown string beans before, or you've seen them grown before, you know that these can get to be, you've got people who build trellises, and they've just got string beans growing all over the trellis, right? Now, I'm not doing that. That's an art form. Now, if you can do that, honey, hats off to you. That is a talent. But what I'm going to do is, as these get taller, I'm just going to actually put them over against my fence, and I'm going to let them grow up along the fence. What you can also do, if you don't have a fence, you can put them in, you know, a grow pot, any pot, And I would recommend maybe getting some bamboo sticks so that they have some support as they get taller. And you know, you can either tie it, they have little clamps you can get. I have some of those in my Amazon store as well. But you need, eventually it's gonna need some support, because you see it's still a seedling technically here, and it's already, you know, it needs support. So that's just up to you. There is no one way to grow string beans. So all right, so I've got my pot here almost full. All right, and I want to leave a little room because I am going to be transplanting, and I want to come up close. I'm going to show you up close what it's going to look like. I'm guarantee you're going to see all the roots and whatnot. And you want to take your hand, right? And I'm going to make a little bit of a mess here, but just to show you guys what's in here. You might want to squeeze it a little bit before you turn it out, but look at that. Ooh, look at all those beautiful roots, right? Okay, so just to carry it back over there, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I got my soil here. I'm just going to make a little bit of a hole in there. And then what you can also do is take your pot that you have and kind of just gently dig it down in there to make the perfect little hole as well. A little hack I learned along the way. And then just put it in there. All right, and I'm going to bring this up close too so you can also see. But I'm going to just kind of deepen the hole a little bit. I didn't want to squeeze it too much. I didn't want to squish my plant. But here you go. So here we have it all in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more soil around it, all right, and just kind of pack it up to the top, and then we're going to water it. And that's it, you guys. You know, I probably should have transplanted this a little sooner because this is pretty tall and it's going to need some support really soon. But that's really all there is to it. I'm just, like I said, putting a little extra dirt around the top to pack it up, and then we're going to water it really good. All right. And I don't want to put the bamboo sticks in just right away. I mean, I guess I could, but you know, you just want to be careful of the roots. I could put them down the sides, but then when time comes to transplant them into where it's going to be permanently, it could be a problem. So what I'll do is, you know, just keep an eye on it. But again, these trays, by the way, these nursery trays are very handy, especially when you are, you know, dealing with seedlings and new plants, and you know, they need water and you want to keep watering it every day. And see, new plants, new seedlings like this, they need a lot of water, you guys. So you never want to let something that you just planted or something that you just transplanted like this, you don't want them to get dry. They need as much water as possible. So that's why I'm adding a lot of extra water in the tray, so that as time goes on, over the next few days, I guarantee you they're gonna sop up this water in just probably a day or two, and I'll have to fill it again because, you know, the soil is not wet, it's still dry. So, but that's it, you guys. String beans on the way. And as you guys know, springtime is here. So make sure you get all your supplies together. It's gonna be a wonderful spring. I can't wait to see and show you guys everything that's growing around here. But as you know, I always say that springtime is like Super Bowl for gardeners. But this is why kitchen gardens matter, you guys. Fresh food, homegrown, in your own kitchen garden. And like I say, you don't need a lot of space. Yes, I have a lot of space here that's yet to be used. I got stuff all over on the other side, but you don't need a lot of space. And you can go back to some of my other videos. If you know, in my last video we talked about growing kitchen scraps, and a lot of that was just done in my kitchen window. So you don't need a lot of space. You don't need a lot of elaborate gardening, raised beds. You don't need all of that, right? You can make do with whatever you have. And if you have any questions for me, if you have a small space or something I said here you just still have a question about, feel free to ask me down below. Please subscribe, and I appreciate you guys' support. And as always, this is why kitchen gardens matter, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.